Hey everyone, welcome back. You're not going to want to miss today's episode because we're going to talk about rediscovering menopausal fat loss, and we're going to talk about intimacy. That's a really interesting topic, and I really didn't think I was going to go here, but here we go. I'm glad you're here. So many of us are struggling in a menopausal body. If you're here, obviously you're looking for fat loss. There may be other things out of balance in your life. And I want to just talk about a couple things that get talked about during our Jumpstart sessions and subsequent follow-ups, because your sexual health is important. And whether you're in perimenopause, somewhere over 50, in menopause, through menopause, wherever you are likely experiencing some issues with intimacy. That said, first we're going to tee up everything fat loss, because once we get balanced and we tend to things that are out of balance, then there's a lot more bandwidth for you to maybe focus on some intimate details. It's all about balancing. We're complex in a menopausal body, right? Even perimenopause. And I'm not just talking about, over 60. I'm talking about as we kind of tiptoe into midlife and our sex hormones go down, critical things get forgotten. We're going to unlock secrets to everything in this episode. Nurturing self-care, loving our bodies where we are, and enhancing fat loss and intimacy. So these life transition as a menopausal woman are quite typical. A lot of times there's deficiencies in hormone production, obviously. Our minerals become deficient because as we start to lose our hormone function, there's a lot of other key factors in the body that happen, and mineral deficiency is a big one. So balancing that with supplementation, and you've heard me say it before, I like the Beam Minerals Here Micro Boost supplement. It's a liquid, tasteless, super comprehensive and balanced formula to reboot your body's ability to replenish simple minerals that are typically missing in a menopausal body. Our mineral needs increase dramatically in menopause. It's pretty typical for menopausal women to lose bone density. Our bodies pull out specific minerals to help build hormones, and then we need to replenish them in order to have the balance that our body so desperately needs. And we're used to being balanced, and when we're not balanced, we don't feel right. Chronic stress is another typical issue, and when we don't have mineral balance, we're going to have that psychological stress. Depression and anxiety are a typical symptom of a menopausal woman, and if you're not really understanding that adequate minerals will increase your bodily function and kind of right the ship, and you won't suffer from such extremes as a balanced female. If you haven't tried it, I would highly recommend about a half an ounce a day of the Micro Boost Beam Mineral. I have an affiliate with them, and I'll save you 20% using Connie20 at checkout. So give it a try. It's something that you might really just have a sense of, wow, that was easy, and your body will feel better. We've talked a lot on this channel about all the things fat loss. Okay, we need to make sure that our hormones are balanced and address that deficiency. You're going to need some blood work or talk to your doctor. I can't help you with hormone replacement therapy, but I can help you figure out where to go and what to ask for. I'm a big fan of bioidentical hormone replacement using the estradiol patch and the progesterone pill and a testosterone cream if needed. I think that's something that you really should be aware that it's available to you. It's by prescription for the most part. There are more natural ways as a maybe perimenopausal woman to support hormone balance by eating correctly, fasting in the appropriate times of the month. But as a menopausal woman, and I'm going to just assume that many of you are menopausal at this stage, since we are over 50, we're pretty much relying on supplemental hormones. If you don't need that, great. If you're having great success with your fat loss, with your body composition, with your bone density, with your sexual health, then awesome. But many of us are enjoying supplemental hormones, and it's just kind of takes us back to, factory settings. I feel like I did when I was 40. I'm on a low dose of all three of the hormones, and I really rely on them to keep my body functioning the way I want it to. Metabolic health is another big topic that we talk about here at Over 50 Fat Blast. It's something that takes a lot of understanding. It takes effort. I've got so many videos for you discussing metabolic balance and intermittent fasting and longer term fasting. Is fasting starving? So many questions answered by just, so many of the topics that I've covered. Those are available for you to watch anytime. There's a lot of good information in there. So we want to just kind of tee up, metabolic freedom with intermittent fasting most days, eating whole and complete, wholesome food, making sure that you have enough protein and fat, and understanding that carbohydrates are something that are caution foods. I'm going to say, high carb equals a lot of chaos, metabolic chaos. So please understand, and I know it's not easy to eat perfectly, and you don't have to, but understanding low carb is keystone here. And having that information, understanding it, appreciating that you do need to pay close attention to carbohydrate consumption for so many reasons as a menopausal woman. When our estradiol goes away, we become very carb resistant, and we tend to start piling on fat because our body isn't handling the glucose, the blood sugar, the sugar on board, causing lots of metabolic chaos. So I don't have to tell you that, you know that. Now, how you proceed is a different story, but there's lots of free information on my channel. Go back to some of the videos and get to work, okay? I highly recommend. There's one about figuring out your macros. That one's a good one. Try that. So to rediscover your fat loss and your intimacy over 50, I'm gonna just remind you that fasting and eating well, balancing hormones, sleeping, supplementing. And then there's one more thing that I really want to introduce to you. It's something new. And the intimacy factor, did you know that over 70% of us women have some type of intimacy dysfunction? Whether it is the vaginal health, whether it is your desire, or whether it's pain and discomfort. I mean, that's a real issue. In client sessions, we often talk about intimacy, and a lot of times I hear the complaints of, what can I use to increase, comfort down there? I've suggested many times estradiol vaginal supplements. You can find those on Full Script, but I think this is just a little bit different. And I think it works a little bit better. Introducing a brand new serum. It's a feminine serum called INANA. And it's pretty revolutionary because for the most part, there's nothing for women. All kinds of opportunities and therapies for the male situation, but I'm happy to say that now there's something for us women, and it's all natural. It's definitely something that's going to revolutionize vaginal dryness. It's all natural, super nutrient dense for tissues, will just help significantly with overall women's intimacy issues. It's not just a lubricant. It's going to pretty much rebuild the delicate tissues in a woman's body. It works in many different ways. Vascular, restores tissue moisture and integrity. It's warming and just helps with sensation and will definitely help with sexual function. I'm excited about this. Now, this is something that you'll use on the daily, definitely to restore tissues, and it's going to go far. You can use it, right before intimacy and just kind of level up the experience, which yay. So try this transdermal miracle worker. It's transdermal technology. It's a compound serum that acts on the tissue itself. The reports in are dynamic, increasing blood flow, reclaim sensitivity, and kind of reboot the tissues in those sensitive areas. It helps with circulation, the overall ability to enjoy sexual function. It's hydrating and moisturizing. It can even be used every single day to increase and improve that sensitive skin down there. It's an O2 like a vascular serum that is actually dedicated to enhancing women's function. I think it's a great addition to your supplement stack, to the self-care products that you use. I've used it myself. And what most women say is there's a very mild warming sensation, maybe a little bit of a tingling sensation. It smells great, and I highly recommend it, especially if intimacy is something that you've kind of brushed off and thought, too late for that. No way. Balance in that area. I think the dopamine factor of a healthy sex life, and it's kind of a taboo subject, but it's important. Embrace your sensuality. I want you to be confident in all areas. And if you're feeling fluffy, if you're not feeling sexy, if you have, really decided that you're no longer of age, give it a second thought. If things don't work like they used to, listen, you're not alone. It might be a really good idea for you to support yourself and offer your body a little help. I mean, we do it with everything else. We take supplements. We biohack. I want to help you restore some confidence and enjoy life. We're not getting any younger. And having a healthy sex life, well, that's important. I want you to rebuild the dopamine, enjoy yourself, and don't overthink it. Intimacy is important. Typically, if you have a good attitude about your body and you accept yourself, which I hope you do at any weight or any size, you're here because you want to improve things. Make a commitment to yourself. Get on the diet stuff. Figure that out. I'll help you with a jumpstart session. We'll map out a plan for you. You can start moving towards better metabolism, more balance in your hormones. But don't discount that intimacy is important. And we have a tool today that we can use to impact, how the body functions. Elevate your overall wellness. Rediscover a better you. Don't miss out on something wonderful. It's wonderful when I hear success stories like I've been hearing lately. Having tools and valuable resources To restore balance in an aging body, well, that's where it's at. Optimizing, leaning into something that's just not perfect and making it work, finding answers, unlocking secrets. I want to help you find ways and understand new technology to reboot and reconnect with yourself. Get excited about what's happening. Get excited about the possibilities of better. Nurturing and attending to self-care, that's so important, especially in these times when things are a little bit uncertain. No time like the present to really figure it out, and I'm here to help you do that. I'd love to see you on the Jumpstart schedule soon. If you've had a Jumpstart session and you've fallen off the wagon, maybe it's time for a follow-up session. I'll support you. I'll encourage you. I'll get you moving in the right direction. And as a functional nutritionist, I'll use all my knowledge and all the tools and the know-how that I've gained and use myself to offer and suggest and help you get back on track. So I hope this was helpful, a little off the beaten path and maybe just a little bit interesting. Check out the INANA Serum. I've got a 25% discount coupon in the drop-down menu below. I think you're really going to like it. Thanks for watching. I'd love to see a comment. I'd love to, if you try the products, let me know how you do. And no time like the present. Come for the fat loss, stay for the longevity, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. All right, bye.